finally, we will talk about endogamy. So here is our actual definition itself of endogamy, which I know you guys have heard of in your past weeks, and I just want to reiterate the importance of it. So the definition: the practice of marrying within a specific social, religious, or ethnic group and rejecting those from other groups as unsuitable for marriage. So this does not mean that you're not allowed to have any Kananaya friends, or you can't interact with any Kananaya people. It just, or any non-Kananaya people. It just means that when it comes to marriage, people who are not part of that same Kananaya community group are considered unsuitable for marriage. And why do we practice this, or why does this exist? We should definitely ask ourselves that. And like I said throughout my whole talk today, that there is a purpose and there is an importance to it. So which is right here. It allows the Kananaya culture to survive and sustain itself over a long period of time. And it preserves our Kananaya culture for future generations. So let's think about that for a second. If your grandparents, your parents, and your great ancestors never practiced endogamy, would we still be here today? What do you guys think?
No.
Right, Alan, none of us would be here today, because the Kananaya culture would have just kind of disappeared and disintegrated and melted into other cultures if our parents and our ancestors never practiced endogamy. That's the reason why today we still have a Kananaya culture. And so we have to remember that this is not something that only Kananaya people do, but other cultures do this as well. So for example, Amish cultures and Mormon cultures and Jewish cultures, they also practice endogamy in their own way, where they marry within their own communities as well, for the purpose of keeping up their own traditions and their culture, and to keep their culture alive. So this is not something that only Kananaya people do, but if we want to keep the Kananaya tradition, we have to stick within the Kananaya community. That is the only way. And it doesn't matter where you are in the world as well. Maybe some people think, well, I don't have any Kananaya people near me. I can't marry a Kananaya person. There's no one here. But there's always a way. Even my husband, who was in Canada, didn't have a lot of Kananaya people in Canada, but he still found me somehow, right? So there's always a way. There's always Kananaya events for people to meet and know about other Kananaya people in the community, to ultimately, eventually get married. So don't feel like you are ever limited because of where you are in the world. There's always a way, especially with technology and all the resources we have today.